So, what if you had to save your best friend, right? But to do it, you've got to jump back in time and somehow convince his younger, super skeptical self to trust you. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Well, that's the wild mission at the very heart of Men in Black 3. And today, we are breaking down every single high stakes, time bending moment of Agent J's crazy race against the clock. And this quote from Agent J, it just perfectly sums up why this mission is so important. He's been told that in the grand scheme of things, one agent's life doesn't really matter. But Jay knows that's just not true. For him, this isn't about fixing some historical mistake. Nope. It's about saving his partner, his mentor. The stakes just could not be more personal. Okay, so here's the crisis. You've got this terrifying alien fugitive, Boris the Animal, who breaks out of a max security prison on the moon. But get this, his target isn't in the present. He uses this forbidden time travel tech to zip back to 1969 with just one goal in mind, to kill the young agent who put him away in the first place. And the second he pulls it off, poof, Agent K just vanishes from the timeline. And just like that, Earth's best line of defense against alien invasion is gone. So, this is where the mission really truly begins. Reality is literally rewriting itself all around Agent J, and he's the only person on the entire planet who even remembers that his partner existed. He knows what he has to do. He's got to follow Boris into the past. But that brings up a terrifying question, doesn't it? How in the world do you beat a villain who has already won? And Jay's plan? It's honestly brilliant. He doesn't just follow Boris back to July 16th. No, he decides to show up one day earlier. The whole strategy is to take out the younger Boris before the time-traveling older Boris even gets there. It's like a preemptive strike against the past, a paradox designed to completely erase the problem before it even has a chance to happen. But, a brilliant plan is pretty useless if you can't actually pull it off. And in the MIB universe, time travel isn't as simple as pushing a button. Oh no. To get to 1969, Jay has to solve what is basically a terrifying, high-altitude physics problem. So before Jay can even start thinking about Boris, he has to survive the trip itself. And the protocol for time jumping, it's incredibly specific and, let's be honest, completely insane. He has to follow every single instruction to the letter, because just one wrong move could literally leave him shattered across the timeline. Believe me, the process is just as wild as it sounds. It's this bizarre mix of super sophisticated alien tech and one terrifyingly simple action: jumping off the Chrysler Building. The entire jump hinges on him completing the device's circuit at the absolute perfect moment during his fall. If his speed is off by even a little bit, the whole mission is over. And you can just feel Jay's panic in this line, can't you? He's standing on the edge of a skyscraper, and the guy who's supposed to be guiding him is just feeding him these confusing, jargon-filled instructions. It's such a classic Men in Black moment of humor that just perfectly highlights the absurd pressure he's under. Everything, and I mean everything, depends on him getting this right. So it all boils down to one single number: 32. He has to hit a terminal velocity of exactly 32 feet per second for the device to activate. That is the magic number. I mean, can you imagine trying to get your speed just right while you're plummeting hundreds of feet toward the pavement? The kind of precision required is just insane. And he nails it. Jay lands safely in 1969. But his first obstacle, it isn't an alien. It's the man he came all this way to save. He's immediately face-to-face with a 29-year-old Agent K, who is way more serious, way more suspicious, and much more by the book than the partner Jay knows. And this K, he has absolutely no idea who this stranger in a black suit is. So, what's the first thing a 1960s MIB agent does when some stranger starts spouting nonsense about the future? Well, he reaches for the neuralizer, of course, the standard issue memory wiping device. And if K presses that button, he's not just going to erase Jay's memory, he is going to erase the entire future. And right then, the tension just skyrockets. K activates the neuralizer, and a countdown begins. Jay has just a few seconds to convince his young, incredibly skeptical partner not to wipe out the one memory in existence that can actually save the world. This is Jay's desperate, last-ditch plea. He makes the ultimate gamble, basically connecting his own mind to the fate of the entire planet. He's betting everything that somewhere inside this by-the-book agent, there's a man who's willing to take a huge leap of faith. I mean, it is the ultimate test of trust in a man who doesn't even know who he is. And somehow, It actually works. Against all of his training and every single instinct he has, Kay stops the countdown. Now, he doesn't fully believe Jay, not even close, but he's intrigued enough to at least listen. And in that moment, an impossible partnership is born. Two partners, one from the future and one from the past, who have never actually met. Okay, with the clock ticking, Jay lays out the mission with brutal efficiency. The target? A Bogladite alien named Boris. The complication? There are two of them to worry about. The objective? This isn't an arrest, it's a kill mission. And the deadline? They have just 19 hours to pull it all off and save the world. So, their investigation kicks off, not with some fancy future tech, but with good old-fashioned police work. The young case finds their first tangible lead on one of Boris's victims, a simple matchbox. It's the first breadcrumb on a trail that's going to lead them right into the heart of the danger. And that one small clue is all they need. It leads them directly to a location and gives them their first real shot at Boris. The planning phase is officially over. Now, it's time for action. And where does this clue lead them? To a bowling alley. Yeah, a bowling alley. It is the perfect kind of surreal and totally unexpected backdrop for an intergalactic showdown, and it really sets the stage for one of the most memorable confrontations in the entire movie. Now, they don't find Boris himself, but they do run into his crew. And this bizarre line delivered by an alien who has just casually detached his own head perfectly captures the strange, menacing, and darkly funny kind of threat that they're facing. And the fight kicks off immediately. This is really our first chance to see Jay and the young Kay in combat together, and you can see how Jay's futuristic, kind of improvisational style clashes with Kay's stoic 1960s approach as they take on Boris's crew right there in the middle of a bowling alley. This first battle, though, is really just a taste of what's to come. They're on the right track, for sure, but that clock is still ticking down. They formed this fragile truce, but they still have to find and defeat two versions of a killer who has already broken the timeline once before. It all comes down to one final question. Can a partnership forged across time actually be strong enough to save the future?